Gold up big for the day. The magic of the weekly vertical crossover going up. You are listening to chartingwealth.com for Thursday, the 25th of January, 2018. We are referring to the movement of gold on Wednesday, the 24th. We are preparing, helping you get ready for the market as it begins on the morning of Thursday, the 25th. Now, we had that weekly vertical crossover on gold all the way back on the 5th of January. That is the magic of the big wave moving up. We'll jump into gold here in just a minute. We always start with the S&P 500. It was down for the day along with the Qs and the 20-year bonds. Let's talk about what's up. We do have a weekly candle so far. We still have 2 days left on it, Thursday and Friday, before that candle is fully drawn. Price movement well above the weekly and still holding on the weekly above the 2-day. We see derivative oscillator gaining energy, price percent oscillator heading up nicely at the same angle it has been since it crossed over going up all the way back on the 5th of January. So it's nice to see that same angle and price movement heading up. Let's take a look at the 2-day chart. Again, a beautiful stair step since we had that weekly vertical crossover going up. Price movement still well above the 2-day and well above the weekly trend line. Still going up at a nice angle on the price percent oscillator. Derivative oscillator, losing a little bit of energy as far as this latest 2-day candle goes. So again, things are looking nice. Price movement is even above the Bollinger Band still. That looks nice. Let's delve a little bit deeper. Look at the 4-hour chart. Up in the morning and then starting to, again, lose energy. And we have pretty much a doji in the afternoon, which means strong indecision tending down. And as we look at the 4-hour chart, derivative oscillators continuing to gain energy. But because of this sideways downward slide, we see the price percent oscillator heading toward the red signal line. Part of that is because of the sideways slide. We topped off all the way back on Tuesday the 23rd in the morning. So this is 4-hour candles, 2 days of pretty much sideways sliding movement. That takes this rather weak and again, not super strong, particularly over the last day and a half or so, price percent oscillator heading down toward the red signal line. Pay attention to that crossover going down. If it blows through the red signal line and crosses the 2-day trend line, then again, some more alarm bells will go off. Again, step back out, take a look at your 2-day chart, see how strong it still looks, along with your weekly. And again, remembering the weekly candle's not drawn yet, but you can check out the price percent oscillator and the derivative oscillator. So far, they're strong and looking good. We'll just continue to keep our eye on things. Remember, we've had incredible price appreciation since jumping in somewhere around 250, and we've seen things go as high as 184.70. Is that not beautiful? $34.70 of maximum appreciation in our virtual trade from all the way back on the 29th of September. That's gorgeous, my friends. That is the power of the weekly vertical crossover. Let's go to the Qs. That's the NASDAQ 100, of course. SPY, of course, is the S&P 500, Standard & Poor 500. But the Qs is the NASDAQ, the tech stocks. What are they doing? Well, had a weekly vertical crossover, had 3 actually, on the Qs, on gold, and on 20-year bonds back on the 5th of January. And we've seen strong price appreciation, excuse me, since then. And what do we see going on as far as the day went? On Wednesday, down just a little bit, 0.63%. It was the S&P 500 down just a little bit at 0.06%. But again, we see strong price appreciation. We have the weekly candle still above the Bollinger Band. Strong up movement, same angle since the beginning. Derivative oscillator gaining energy. Again, just 3 days in to the 5-day candle. What does the 2-day candle look like? Finished drawing on Monday the 24th at the 22nd, and of course the latest candle finished drawing on Wednesday the 24th. We again see price movement just nicking above the Bollinger Band. Again, a nice, beautiful stair step. No red candle pullback since the weekly vertical crossover going up. Derivative oscillator still heading up. Price percent oscillator heading up. Looking really pretty. What do we see on this 4-hour chart? Well, we see some signs of weakness. Again, moving toward a crossover going down on the 4-hour chart. Price movement still well above the 2-day and, of course, well above the weekly. But again, we are seeing some weakness, more weakness than we've seen the whole time. We only have 2 red candles spaced a few days apart, but these are red candles for the day, both an open box and then at the end of the day, a red closed box. So we have some down movement underway. We'll see if there's a crossover going down. Derivative oscillator losing energy, price percent oscillator heading toward the red signal line. Keep your eyes and ears open. Again, still well above the 2-day, so we'll continue to watch things. Don't want to get out too soon, but at the same time, we've had beautiful price appreciation since we jumped in somewhere around what, 162, we'll say, at the, if you want to even go that 161, whatever you jumped in at 162, all the way up, hit a high in the morning to 170. That's quite beautiful over just a couple of weeks. So again, we'll continue to keep our eye on the cues, keep you posted. You watch it too, check it out. Both, for both those candles, they end up forming at noon. You can check it out, and then at the end of the day, and just keep an eye on what's going on the cues. Remember, the 2-day and the weekly are still strong. How about TLT? It crossed over going down for a put play or going short or getting into an inverse fund on the 20-year bond. Crossed over back on the 5th of January. We have 3 down candles. Nice down day for that, 0.54%. Derivative oscillator heading down nicely. Price percent oscillator heading down nicely also on the weekly. What do we see when we go to the 2-day? Moving rather slowly on the upload. Don't know what that is about. Don't usually have those kind of problems with the system. There we go. What do we see going on there? Well, so far, this latest 2-day candle is a green closed box candle, bottoming out right around the 123.30 mark. That candle is finished closing. But when we get away from just the candle and look at the price percent oscillator and derivative oscillator, both heading down strongly and also gaining momentum on the derivative oscillator. So again, bit of a pullback as far as the price movement showing on our Heiken Ashi candlesticks, which gives us some, again, cautious look as we talked about yesterday in the podcast. But as we hone into the 4-hour, you can see strong down movement in the morning after a day of up movement prior, and then the prior day down movement and the prior 2 days down movement on those 4-hour candles. So again, strong down movement in the morning, some up movement in the afternoon. Don't like to see the derivative oscillator continuing to lose downward momentum, and the price percent oscillator has gone flat thanks to that up movement in the afternoon. So keep your eye on things. Been a nice run so far, and it's nice to see us getting back actually lower than the low we hit back at noon during the morning on Wednesday the 10th. So again, keep your eye on the prize. We'll see if indeed we have a pullback here. If stocks are going up, you typically expect TLT to go down. It's actually going down with stocks going down. So again, just keep watching the indicators. Pay attention to the weekly and the 2-day. And of course, that 4-hour, you see super strong movements. Pay attention to those. But so far, our weekly vertical crossovers have been serving us extremely well. And as we go to the weekly and look at gold, we see even more so. Gold looks beautiful. It was the 3rd of our 3 weekly vertical crossovers on the 5th of January. And what did we see happen with gold? Well, it crossed over, and it's always beautiful when the derivative oscillator and the price percent oscillator cross over at the same time. Usually is a very good sign for continued movement. Remember, we're not forecasters, we're trend followers. We're happy to get that chunk in the middle. We don't have to jump in super early and be risky. We can wait and get the clean, easy money when it works. Does it always work? No. Anybody who tells you it always does is a liar. And maybe they're backtracking and claiming all their victories, but we talk to you as the trades are going on, and we want you to practice this. Do virtual trades with us. Remember, not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. We want you to educate yourself with us. And after you get a full education with us and everything else you read and practice and anybody else you study with, then and only then, when you're making successful practice trade after successful practice trade, do you even consider using your own money? And that's totally up to you. We don't give any advice on that at all. We do see beautiful price appreciation derivative oscillator heading up in an even stronger angle. Price percent oscillator heading up quite nicely. Beautiful up movement on the weekly chart on gold. What do we see on the 2-day? I don't know what's up with these charts loading slowly. We appreciate your patience trying to get this to happen. Come on, there we go. And we see that, that's beautiful. It's kinked up, hockey stick moving up. Derivative oscillators losing energy, but the price percent oscillator heading up quite nicely on the latest 2-day candle in gold. We are glad to see that. We're going to have to redraw our trend line, which we can easily do. That's the beauty of free stock charts and TC 2000. If you are getting serious about trading and are ready to actually get a professional stock charting software, you need to make, or application, you need to make sure that you've already subscribed to us at chartingwealth.com for free, and we have in there a link for you that will get you $25 off your subscription to TC 2000. 3 different plans to choose from. They're good buddies of ours. We believe in them. That's all I've used for years and years, and I know Chris Warden personally. His team are incredible software programmers, and they just do a great job. I love it. Use it on my Apple and Safari every single day, and I encourage you. You'll see the link there for the discount. Please use us. It helps us, and it saves you some money. It's not cheap to buy all this bandwidth and do all that we do for you every day for free. Derivative oscillators losing energy, price percent oscillator heading up on that 2-day chart. Things are looking good in gold. What's the 4-hour showing us? Now remember, we've been waiting for that crossover on the 4-hour chart going up after its sideways slide. And this is not the software. This has something to do with our link to Wi-Fi. I'm going to be traveling over the next few days, and I pray that this is not a constant problem for me. But I do appreciate your patience. We may not be able to actually see the final chart here for the 4-hour. Just looks like everything is jamming up on me. I almost never have this happen, friends, even when we're traveling overseas and we get this out to you much later than usual. Well, we did have a vertical crossover. We did have a crossover on the 4-hour chart going up. Strong up movement. It's finally occurred for us in gold. It's what we wanted to see. Those of you who just use the 4-hour as a trading chart, it's nice that appears to be working again for us. And remember, it's moving in the direction of the larger charts, which is what's always important. We like to use those larger charts to help us out when we track things, as long as the 2-day and the weekly are moving in the same direction. You see a pullback on the 4-hour chart and it crosses back over in the same direction. That is your number one hit for jumping into a trade. And we're just not going to get cooperation from the Wi-Fi. Folks, thanks so much for being with us. You have questions, problems, concerns. We are happy to hear from you. Write us cw@chartingwealth.com. No training for today. We'll have some more for you tomorrow. Again, want to help us out and get the kind of trading software that you need. See our link there for TC 2000 and the discount we have to offer. God bless from the whole team here at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.